right. Welcome to Realtor Jail, where JimCamarata and I discuss professional standards committee cases and code of ethics violations. Jim from Minnesota, how are you?
I'm doing just great. How are you doing?
I am ready to find out.
Okay, this is being recorded. We were just right after Thanksgiving, so I'm still
Yes.
kind of feeling a little
Full.
large. Yeah.
What is the case today?
Today deals with article number 4
Okay.
of our professional standards. And it reads, realtors shall not acquire an interest in or buy or present offers from themselves, any member of their immediate families, their firms, or any member thereof, or any entities in which they have an ownership interest, any real property without making their true position known to the owner or the owner's agent or broker. In selling their own property or in which they have an interest, realtors shall reveal their ownership or interest in writing to the purchaser or the purchaser's representative.
At first, when you read that, I was like, what? If you have an interest, you can't do any of that. But then you said without disclosing, which that makes sense, right? So it has to be disclosed if you're the buyer, if you're related to the buyer. Basically, if you don't have an arm's length transaction, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there could be any number of misinterpretations regarding that if you are not disclosing your interest.
Huh. Okay.
So it's
Well, let's
just
hear
full
the case and
disclosure.
then we'll fight about it.
Yeah, in our brokerage, we have a disclosure just stating that we have an interest in this title company and in this mortgage company. So it's just fully disclosing what,
Right.
what people don't think, oh, you're trying to pull something on me or you're doing
No.
it because you have an interest.
Right. That makes sense. All right. What happened?
So in this case, Realtor A listed a property. 2 offers came in. The seller rejected both of them. They just were
Okay.
not terms and conditions that were acceptable to the seller. Realtor C comes along and presents an offer. He's representing a bank. So the offer was presented. The seller said, you're close, but no cigar.
Okay.
Here's what I will accept. The bank came up in price and terms, and everybody lived happily ever after. It was
Great.
accepted. Yep. So done deal. About a month later, guess what? Well, you can imagine.
Yes. They were at a party.
Yeah, well, after the closing, there was a complaint filed. Actually,
Okay.
there was no party in this case.
Oh, the only time there wasn't a party.
I
Okay.
know. But the bank, who was the buyer, charged both of the real estate agents with unethical conduct and duplicity. Oh, I love that word. With
Duplicity.
duplicity, which had resulted in the banks paying an excessive price for the property.
Okay. On what grounds?
Well, that the realtor C, who was representing the bank, was a stockholder in the bank. And
Okay.
alleged that he had connections with one of the directors of the bank and used those various connections to jack up the price that the bank paid.
But if he's a stockholder in the bank, why would he want to raise the price?
That's what was alleged by
That
the
doesn't
bank.
make sense.
Not arguing.
So, okay. So the issue though is the well, wait. Let's take a short break. Let me
Sure.
tell you about 2 of our favorite partners and then let's talk about like the issue. I have some questions, obviously.
I'm sure you do.
So, right now, what you need is leads, of course. So our number one lead source right now is Pipeline Pro Tools. So what they do, if you go to pipelineprotools.com/fight club, they will show you the playbook that we are using, which gets us leads, and they will do an analysis for you on how many leads you need to get in order to get the number of deals that you want and give you the playbook for how we're doing that. So if you do the demo, it's a free demo. They can show you the playbook. And then if you decide to sign up for it, great. If not, they will give you the playbook for free and you can do it yourself. Go pipelineprotools.com/fight club. Also, you are doing things that you should not be doing. Stop it immediately and hire a virtual assistant. Monica and I's favorite virtual assistant is through Cyberbacker. So if you go to cyberbacker.com, tell them you're with Fight Club, they will give you a special prize. And our Cyberbacker does a lot of stuff on our social media. They can also do transaction coordination, admin tasks, whatever you need, so that you can focus on generating leads and closing deals, baby. All right, Jim.
Fabulous prizes. You know, today is Cyber Monday.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, that's not when this is being heard. So,
I know.
but that's okay. Okay. So
you allege that there was inside information and influence.
that was not disclosed.
That's what the bank is alleging.
Well, it's either disclosed or it's not disclosed. If it's not disclosed, it seems like he's in violation. If it is disclosed, then it seems like he's not. And his insider information should have caused him to negotiate a lower price, not a higher price. That makes no sense. Did I win?
I know. Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
You get fabulous prizes. Well, at the hearing, Realtor A, who listed the property for the seller, said, I didn't know anything about these connections. I had absolutely no knowledge whatsoever.
Right.
And the panel said, yeah, okay, we accept that. Move him off to the side.
Okay.
Realtor C was being charged with having this inside information. And his defense was, look, I didn't contact anybody. I was dealing directly with the president of the bank. So obviously we're not dealing with a big multinational bank,
Right.
probably a local, bank when you're dealing with a president at this level. And that the director of the bank, who happened to be an officer of the corporation, said there was absolutely at no time whatsoever any contact by Realtor C. I was not contacted. As far as I know, he just dealt directly with the president of the bank and nothing else was discussed.
But that's not the issue. The issue is it in writing that you have a financial interest in the, do you have a financial interest in the contract, correct? That is the rule. Was it disclosed?
Nope.
Then no, you're in violation.
Want to know the answer? How this turned out?
Only if I'm right.
All right, I'm going to read this.
Okay, let me hear it.
It was the conclusion of the hearing panel that the indirect relationship between Realtor C and the buyer was not of a nature to require a formal disclosure. That Realtor C could not be held in violation of Article 4. I know.
Because
I don't agree with that, but
if you're on the board of the bank, right? That
Article 4 goes on to say that, any member of their immediate families, their firms, or any member thereof, or any entities in which they have an ownership interest.
But if you're on the board, do you have, well, that would mean like if you owned stock in a
stockholder. Yeah. So normally if you're a stockholder, you don't have a say. I mean, you vote.
You don't have a say, but according to that, you have to disclose it.
I would have, and I would have advised my agent to disclose it, just to stay on the safe side.
But I can see where you wouldn't think about it.
I know. When I'm dealing with a family member, I always have to remind myself, oh, this is a cousin. Oh, this is a
right.
nephew, and I've got to write.
Yeah, and you have to write it in.
Nephew, I've got to write it into the purchase agreement. Yeah. So,
but that's not exactly this, right? Like you're on the board and but because you're representing them as a realtor, not as a board member.
Right.
Well,
Right.
and
If he was on the board of directors, that would be a whole different story.
hold on, who filed the complaint?
The bank.
The one that said that
We paid too much for that particular piece of property.
but then during the bank, but not the president. But the president was like, no, it's fine.
Somebody at the bank.
Somebody
alleged.
at the bank.
Yeah. So I guess the moral of this story is, when in doubt, disclose it.
I think if there's a way that can be misconstrued of your financial interest, you need to disclose it. Or if it's not a completely arm's length, and arm's length means like you are known to one of the parties that is the party of the contract, or you have like a financial interest or something else, like you're somehow related other than I am their real estate agent, that you have some other type of business or familial relationship, right?
Yeah. For example, I'm on the board of directors for one of the local chamber of commerces. And if I were writing a contract or doing something with them, I would have to disclose, just out of a sense of obligation, that I'm on the board of directors.
Right.
I have
Exactly.
an interest in this organization.
Yeah.
Not a
Interesting.
financial, because it's a volunteer.
And this makes
position,
me
but
think that like most real estate agents do in their sphere of influence, like you don't have to disclose if it's a friend, only if you have a business dealings with them that are related somehow to the proper, like, well, in this case, it's corporation, but you have a business dealing with them or you're related by family.
Yeah, if there's some sort of financial interest of some kind, or because it's family, I'm going to work a little bit harder to protect their interest. Well, you're still going to do that, but just disclose that it's a
Right.
family member.
Interesting.
I'm going to protect him or her.
Or whatever. Great. Well,
Or
Jim,
whatever. Yeah.
if people have a referral for you in Minnesota, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
JimCamarata at kw.com or 612-562-7461. And I do answer my phone.
Awesome. Thank you.
You.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.